All right, we brought the chassis into work today, soaking it down with some of this right here to get all the tape off. Start sanding some of this damage out. Probably going to start with something like around 180. We don't want to take too much material away from the aluminum. Just want to get the scratches out. And we're going to paint it instead of powder coat. So I'll be able to put some primer on that, and it'll help fill some of the imperfections, even though they're probably going to get put right back in it since we start racing this thing. Letting this soak, that should rub right off. This is good stuff. If you ever need to take some two-sided tape off. And yeah, we'll come back once we get a little bit of body work done here. All right, here's what we're using to fill this. They had extra servo holes. I'm not sure if they had a bigger servo or what was going on, but we don't need those, and we don't need these. You can glue a quarter panel on a car. You can fill a hole in a RC10 chassis. So let's get this filled up. It's going to take us 12 hours for that to completely cure out, so we're just going to get them filled up today, and we'll come back tomorrow when we start sanding on the scratches and such. All right, there you have it. Just a little dab. We'll shave what's left of that off, and then we'll sand it, high build primer, and be ready to paint. All right, we got everything worked out. Put a little metal glaze over top of where we did the panel bond. And we're going to wipe this down with a metal etching wipe, just for the direct metal situations. We got a lot of raw spots. We didn't strip it completely, but got most of the gouges out. Put just a touch of filler right there. I will be running the front bumpers, so hopefully that won't get knocked off. It's going to get scratched. There's the motor guard, just a little bit of glaze in the scratches. We'll hit that with some primer, not much. You don't want a lot of buildup, because you put too much buildup on there, when you put your screws back in, that's going to turn the paint off. So keeping the minimum mils on this if we can. All right, that's what we're using to wipe down the raw metal. We'll get it wiped down just to open it up, and gives a little etching properties. Again, we're not going to put a lot of primer on it, just enough to get everything covered. And then we'll be able to sand that down and start spraying some color on this thing. All right, we got one coat of primer on there. I think that's all I'm going to do. Trying to keep the mils down. Got a little place right there where we filled a hole. We got to straighten up a little bit. But everything else is going to look shiny and new. There you go. Next step, prep for paint. All right, we got everything primed. We got it mocked up. It is not easy to paint this stuff swinging. The motor guard, the very edge of it overlaps the chassis, so we're not worried about that very edge. So we got it stuck on with two-sided tape. Same with the nose plate. Nose plate overlaps the main chassis, so we got all this surface area to work with. The chassis itself is swinging, but I'm going to put me an Allen wrench through the chassis there to stabilize it when we spray it, so it don't get all flippy. Yeah, technically I could paint one side, tape it up, paint the other side, but that would take an extra day, because you got to let this stuff dry. So we're going to try to do it all in one shot. Last time I done one, I did both sides at the same time, and we're going to try it again. It's tricky to get clear in there with that thing moving around, so let's see if we can do it. All right, we got some white sealer made up. We got everything pre-cleaned with some wax and grease, aka glass cleaner. Get it sealed in white, and we'll throw our color on there and be ready to clear. All right, we got our Guru green mixed up. I'm gonna throw that on the gun, let the sealer dry. About a coat and a half on the sealer, as you see in there. Normally one coat, but that thing's a little tricky with all the angles. So let's throw the green on there, and then we can clear it out. All right, there's one. We're going to put two, and then 2 coats of clear. Clear's going to be the tricky part, trying to get it slick because it needs to lay out pretty nice, and it's kind of hard to hold the chassis still. It's like painting a wind chime. So we're going to let this flash off. We'll come back and put one more coat on, don't need to film that, and then we'll clear coat it. And once we get it cleared, we'll get it all kind of mocked up, and we'll show you what the end result is. All right, we got the green on, we got it dried up. Got a little bit of leftover clear from my painter. He's in the booth, that's why we're not in the booth right now. So I'm gonna put one coat on, let it flash for about 10 minutes. Hit it with the second coat, and that's all it's gonna take. All right, that's one. We need to let that sit. It's pretty hot in the shop today, but we're gonna let that sit for 10 minutes so we don't take any chances of anything sagging on any of these screw holes. It'll tendency to build around it and take off. So we're gonna let that sit for 10 minutes. It'll be basically about the consistency of a fly tape when it's ready for a second coat, and then the second coat we'll be able to wet it out a little bit more. And once we got that done, we'll get it dried up and pull it off, and like I said, we'll get it mocked up and show you what we got here. So wish us luck on the second coat. Hope everything sticks and stays in place, and we'll have a cool little chassis here. All right, we got it slicked in, nothing too funky. Got a little bitty wanting to sag right there, maybe. No, it's just an illusion. We'll get a better look at it once we get it off the rack here. We'll do that in the morning, and we'll see you then. All right, guys, that's a wrap for the refinish video. That is automotive base coat, clear coat. Not as durable as powder coat, but it's durable enough. We are going to run a chassis protector, so I'm not worried about that. Thought about maybe running carbon fiber vinyl on the floorboard style type thing here. That way, when we put our speed control and receiver in, if we ever need to take it out, it's not going to have to chip away at the paint to get it out. The paint's not going to come off in that sense, but just having to get a screwdriver if you want to remove any electronics. But there it is. We just got to kind of loosely screw together now just for display purposes. I will let this sit for about a week and let it get completely cured out, and before we go tightening anything down too much on it. And next time you see it, it will be a roller. And hope you enjoyed this quick little video. We are doing something cool this weekend, so we had to postpone a video. So you got a paint video, you got a chassis painted. So we'll see you next time. We'll see you Wednesday, and appreciate it. And hit that like, subscribe, comment. If you got any questions about this, hit me up. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.